Respect, love, and greetings. I am Amilcar Peter Sanatan, an artist, educator, and committed Caribbean citizen working toward the total emancipation of all our people and spaces, of which gender equality is a very essential part. I wish to extend my highest regards to Dr. Dalea Bean and Professor Verene on the publication of Gender-Based Violence in the Caribbean, Historical Roots, Contemporary Continuities. I am a graduate of the University of the West Indies, as much as I am a graduate of the IGDS School, the singular institution that preserves and promotes a Caribbean feminist intellectual tradition. The work of the founders in the regional Women and Development Studies group was not in vain. Consecutive generations of Caribbean thinkers and doers have synthesized ideas, reflections, and visions for social change into multi-author, interdisciplinary, and theoretical edited collections. In my chapter, Reflections on Men's Organizing to End Gender-Based Violence in the Caribbean, I consolidate a decade of thoughts on engaging Caribbean men and boys for gender equality. Gender-based violence remains a leading priority for researchers, policymakers, and activists. GBV is wickedness. It's wicked in our lives and wicked in our development futures. It impedes mobility. It affects the experiences of women and girls in public transport negatively, threatens the well-being of children at home, impacts their educational outcomes, and increasingly facilitates harm in digital spaces. In the past 20 years, campaigns have amplified men as gender equality champions, but these have often been narrowly defined by spotlighting socially and economically privileged men. Speakers of industry, sport, law, politics, basically a chamber of boss men. But what of men who embody power by connection to community and the capacity to care, not money's influence and might? We must also address areas where we have been less critical in our own work sometimes. For example, conducting anti-GBV interventions almost exclusively in under-resourced communities, as if GBV was solely a problem for working class families. These are things we have to sit with critically. How do well-intentioned outreaches fall into classist traps and leave unchecked flawed program designs? Improving the minimum standards for gender-responsive data collection across all sectors is a starting point for evidence-based solutions. Though with or without data, concerns about the status of men and boys in Caribbean society are often weaponized against the cause and case for safeguarding and advancing the rights of women and girls. So we have to clear the old noise, and we spend a lot of time clearing that old noise. But clearing all noise does not bring us closer to equality and freedom. There is a deep patriarchal future in the Caribbean that men must want and meet, not only because they are accountable to women and others, but because they are accountable to their own ideals of humanity and the belief that all people can live free from systems of dominance and oppression. Patriarchal structures give patriarchal rewards and have an open door to speakers, their spokespersons, men and women. But strongman politics will not make Caribbean countries and communities safer. Man-up messages place impossible standards on Caribbean boys, and the movement for rights of women and girls is no less a part of the movement for Caribbean independence, repair, and self-determination. I open these greetings with respect and love. In 1988, Rosina Wilshire stated it clearly. Genuine independence can only be built on Caribbean people's acceptance of their own validity and equality as human beings. The Caribbean gender issue cannot be divorced from the fact that Caribbean men and women cannot respect and value each other if, as a people, they do not respect and value themselves. Thank you very much, Dr. Bean, Professor Shepard, and all the contributors. Thank you very much.